Partner resentment. We get it, we all get it. And there are many reasons why we resent our partners, we resent our beloveds, we have an ill feeling towards them. Essentially, this ill feeling is really something that is towards us. It's something that we feel deep within. But let me go a little bit beyond that. Let me give you three core reasons as to why we cultivate, build, experience partner resentment. And so the first is communication. We just don't communicate. We don't communicate our needs. We don't communicate when we're upset. We don't communicate when we're sad. We don't communicate when we perceive our partners to have taken action that doesn't align with our truth, that doesn't really resonate with us. We don't communicate, and it compounds. The effect of not speaking our truth, of not communicating, of not being present to what we need and how we need it, it builds resentment, it builds division, it creates distance. We have to communicate when we're feeling that we need our partners to know what we're feeling and what we're experiencing within ourselves. This is so important to the growth of the relationship. Number two, lies. We generally and often don't tell ourselves the truth and therefore struggle to really speak that truth to others. I know I lived that life for so long. I lived a life, especially men, we live a life where we're unable to speak our truth. We don't speak our truth. We don't know how to really just present ourselves authentically, congruently. This is who we are. These are what our needs are. This is what we stand for. These are our belief systems. And the reason for that is because, well, we don't really know ourselves and we're playing to the fiddle of someone else's tune. In other words, we're being and we're behaving in such a way that is really appeasing others as opposed to speaking our truth and honoring ourselves, really being clear, having the courage to step into the posture of who we are and saying, this is who I am. And we don't often do that because we spend most of our time making other people happy. We value their needs and their values over our own. And the third reason as to why and how we can build partner resentment in our relationship, where we really resent and don't appreciate fully the relationship and the other person, high expectations. And we have these high expectations that we place sometimes on ourselves and we project that onto others, and these high expectations that we actually place on others. And we expect them to be a particular way. And sometimes because we've come from our own wounding, our own trauma, our own fears that we haven't dealt with in our own lives, we disconnect from what we really need and how we really need to express in the world. And what happens is we place these expectations on how our world should be, on how we should feel on others. This can lead to codependency. This can lead to externalizing our happiness. This can lead to outside validation. And we lose ourselves in the process and we expect others to fix our problems or to help us feel better about ourselves. And these high expectations are not healthy in any capacity. And I want to give you a bonus. A fourth reason as to how we can build resentment is because we don't realize that there are stages to relating to relationships, and relationships require effort, and they require attention, and they require our intention. In other words, when we go into a relationship, we often fall into the relationship. We catapult into the relationship, and internally our hormones are going crazy. Our hormones are all over the place and everywhere, and eventually this hormonal state of being, this physiological state of being, it dissipates or it transmutes, it morphs, it changes. It doesn't mean our love and our passion for that person goes away. It's just that in that heightened hormonal stage, when we first meet, when we're trying to impress, when we're courting, and depending on how we court will really influence how we behave with someone else. When we're courting, we get lost in the sea, in the flood of those emotions and those hormones, and we forget about everything else. And so parts of us, when that hormonal flood begins to diminish, parts of us become resentful as to why we're not wanted and needed as we once were before. Why the sex isn't where it was. Now, this isn't for all relationships, and if we're conscious enough, i.e. aware enough of who we are and what we're moving through, what we're experiencing, we can still cultivate deep intimacy, connection, and love, and sexual passion as well. And that doesn't need to go anywhere per se. It's how we handle it, how we perceive it, and how we relate to and understand our bodies. And so 3 key reasons why we can build resentment and how we can avoid it. So, communicate more. Definitely speak your truth in the moment. Be self-reliant, be self-reflective. Definitely be continent with your words and your thoughts and your feelings. And once you've really absorbed and understood who you are, pardon the background noise, then express your truth, express your needs. Communication's key. High expectations. Don't place high expectations on other people. Don't rely on other people to solve your issues. Be the first port of call and your own source of inspiration. And don't place unrealistic expectations on how other people can and should or behave, essentially. The third is lies. Don't lie to yourself. Get honest with yourself. Know who you are. Tell the truth. Present that in the relationship, and then don't change later. There's nothing wrong with change, but as you're changing or transforming your inner self, be truthful with that. Present that to the relationship in real time. Don't sit and wallow in lies. And the fourth bonus, of course, is be aware of the stages of relationships. And sometimes that hormonal stage can take over pretty much every fucking thing we do. Just be mindful of that and communicate that back to communication. Communicate that back to your beloved, your partner, your lover, whether it be short-term, long-term, casual, more intense, whatever it may be. Avoid resentment. Step into connection by adhering to those three principles and the bonus fourth. Many blessings on your day. Power to you. I'll see you soon.